it's Connie with the Artisan Company. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do a very simple necklace for men with some beautiful white howlite stone. Not sure what I'm gonna mix with it yet because y'all know me. I change my mind sometimes midstream. That's a creative process. So let's get started. Okay, as promised, we are doing the beautiful white howlite stone necklace for men. Excuse me. This is what you're going to need for today, and I'm going to try my hardest not to vary off of my pattern. It's something about the creative process when you get going, and then all of a sudden you're going, oh, this would do better. That happens to me more often than I need it to, doing this for you guys. Anyway, what I've got here is I'm going to make this a 20-inch long because some guys, have larger necks than others. So I'm going to do a 20-inch. So you're going to need some beading wire, and I'm doing a medium. What do you call it? Medium classic beading wire, 49 strands. I'm using AccuFlex right there. You can do soft flex or whatever you want to use, just so long as you're doing it at least 20 inches if you're doing it exactly like mine. Okay, so 20 enough for 20 inches. Okay, the hematite stone that I've got here, what I did was, as I always do, I went and inspected each piece that I was going to use to make sure all the ends were cut evenly. There were no gaps or things out of the stone, because when you do this tube style, that happens a lot on the edges. It'll get chipped or something off the edge right there. So I went through, sorted them out, and as I always do, I wanted the majority of the color up front, so I separated all my beads out. These have the lesser color, and what I've got lined out here have the most color. So that's what I'm doing here. It's a 4mm by 6mm tube is what it looks like right there. 4mm by 6mm. Okay. Then I decided to add these beautiful, oh, we're going to use these. This is the reconstituted hematite, and I am just loving, loving, loving this. It is amazing because hematite, a lot of times just came in the dark gunmetal color, but now they're doing them in all these other colors because they're reconstituting the stone. So I'm loving this. So I'm using this. This is about a 5 to 6mm stone. And it just looks like a big silver bead, but it's actually a stone. And don't you love that? Woohoo! So I'm using that. I found these because black would have been the what I would say predictable thing to do in this, because of the howlite having that beautiful gray matrix in it. Black would have been the typical color to use, but I decided to go with this dark blue. Oh my goodness. I discovered these probably 20 years ago, these little flat glass beads. I use them a lot in my American Indian styles or Native American styles or Southwestern styles, whatever you want to call it. There, but I use these in a lot of those styles, and they're just tiny little flat things. They come in multiple colors. They're glass, and I decided to use the dark blue to bring out that gray instead of black, and they are about a 6mm size. So with that, we are ready to rock and roll. I've got a little clamp so my beads don't fall off the other end. My crimps and my crimp covers. Get your crimp covers. It makes a big difference in how your ending looks, so to speak. The clasp I'm using is just a simple hook and eye clasp. Very, very simple. I've said this many times in other videos, but guys want something simple. I don't want something that's too fussy to try to get on and off. So I'm using just a basic hook and eye in silver. All right, we are getting ready to roll. I will be back in just a second. Okay, I think we're ready to go. What I am going to do here, just so you'll know, I'm only going to do the blue in the front and kind of around to the side, but in the back, whoops, in the back, I am going to keep it all howlite and silver, and that's where I'm headed. So you will know I'm going to bead a few of these for those of you who like to watch that. I did have someone ask me that one time, so I thought, okay, I can do a few here because I want to respect your time as far as your viewing time. Hopefully you guys are out creating some amazing stuff on your own. Wish I could see it. Wish I could bead with you. It would be lots of fun. Lots of fun. But here we go. Okay, we're about to get in here to the pattern right there. Trying to make sure my hands stay in the frame. Okay, so we're starting the pattern, and it's the silver, the blue, the hematite. Silver, blue, in there, hematite. Silver, blue, hematite, blue moon. Oh my goodness, you guys. All right, this necklace you could probably do in your sleep even as a beginner. So just be excited. Guys kind of, most of the guys at least that I know, kind of like things that are simple. So I try to keep that in mind when I'm designing something for men. Occasionally I'll have somebody that just really likes things over the top. But okay, so I'm getting to the middle section right here. And if you'll notice, this happens to be my center bead right here. So what I am doing is I'm creating a pattern here that actually focuses that center bead, and then it reverses the pattern going back out on this side. So I'm getting here. Make sure my hands are on the screen. All right, so we're doing a blue, a silver, another blue, the howlite stone, another blue, stop baby, a silver, another blue, and then the howlite stone. So you can see, you can see how I did the pattern right in there. And that's to give it a focal point right in the middle, and then you start working your way back out on the other side, kind of opposite. So you're going to start with the blue on this side, silver, howlite. These stones are really, really beautiful. I wish my pictures looked as good as the stone does in person. It just doesn't. I don't know. I'm going to reverse those two. That one has a little more color on it than the one behind it. So we're going through here. Another howlite stone. Pull it on down. And I may have some stones left over, and that's great. I will use them in another project. as we all do. But they're so pretty. I like Howlite is so versatile because it just can be dyed almost any color under the sun. And a lot of turquoises are that are done really well are faked by using Howlite, and now magnesite stone is people are using magnesite to kind of fake turquoise. But if you really pay attention to the matrix and things in it, you'll know the difference. All right, here's my last stone, I believe. I told you guys this was a fast-paced little puppy, didn't I? All right, let me make sure they are pulled down evenly. Okay, so there's my center. All right, so here's my center right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to count to make sure that I have it even on both sides, because you can see right here I've got an off-kilter thing here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fantastic. So I'm just going to add another bead right here as a finishing bead. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is put this clasp on. So yes, be back in just a second. Putting on the clasp as we speak. I've gotten one side on right here, and you can probably see that little hook right there. I've got it on now, and I have gently pulled my beads down to make sure I don't have any gaps, but you don't want it so tight that it buckles, you know, and where this is so tight, taut, pulled taut. All right, so we're back here. I'm going to put the other end on. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. I just don't know. All right, crimp cover, crimp goes on. And then the other part of the clasp goes on. Then you take that wire and you run it back through the crimp, and it's going to look like that, if you can see it. All right, and then you pull it down fairly close to your ending bead there, but you want to leave a little bit of space. See how easy that moves? You want to leave a little space there for the clasp to be able to move around, because if it's too tight, then not a good thing. All right, so we're going to crimp this with your little crimp tool. Mash it, makes a little groove, and then you fold it in half. If you don't fold it in half, then it probably will come apart. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is take this excess wire right there, and I'm going to run it back through here as far as I can. This is usually one of the hardest parts, because you have to just kind of work with it. And that's another reason why I encourage you to not cut your wire, you know, just enough. You know, make sure you have just enough on there that you can work with it, because you are going to be frustrated to the max if you can't get something to go all the way through. All right, this one's about there. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You can do it. Sometimes you just have to speak to them. All right, what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to pull out that end. Oops, wrong thing. I'm looking for a little needle of some kind. Oh, I bet my microphone's right there. I bet you are going, what is that noise? It's my microphone. I am so sorry. It's right there by my pins. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to pull out a little bit of this wire right here. There it is. You can see it's out right there. And I'm going to take my little tool and pull it through. It's pulled through up here, and the rest of this should go through there. It should. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There it is. All right, beautiful. It's all the way through. So now you're going to put your crimp cover on there because you can see the difference in how something looks finished or not finished by the crimp cover. This side looks finished, this one doesn't. So they're very important. I cannot stress it more. All right, so I'm putting that little guy on right there. The tool is here somewhere. And you just close it gently. It looks like a little Pac-Man. Oops. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. It's trying to, there it is, trying to grab the wire. Whoops, it did it anyway. Ah. All right, I'm gonna take this one off and I'll get another crimp. I'll be right back. Okay. That little crimp was being cantankerous. And what happened was when I clamped it, the beading wire itself got hung on partially on the outside of the crimp. So I just had to take it off and put a fresh one on here. And that's what I am doing now. I will be a little more mindful of what I am doing. Okay, so I've got it on there. Got my little Pac-Man on there. Let me make sure. How about if I just do that? I'll hold it down. There it goes. All right. Bam! Bam! I did it. Okay. And the other thing about the little crimp covers, when you close them up, make sure that they meet together and you don't have any little edges sticking up because that'll be rough on the back of your neck. So you want it to kind of feel smooth like that when you rub your finger over it. And that way it will be right. Okay, so I told you it was a quick project for a men's necklace. Here we go. There's your finished product. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness. It's not overstated. It's got a little shine to it, but not too much, not too crazy. But it does make a statement, especially if they're going to wear anything black or white, or if they're wearing something that's blue jean, denim would be fantastic. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next project. Bye.